the game.
Hey there, I'm Kelsey Dickey. What started as helping people with their money at my dining room table grew into a 7-figure financial coaching practice. Now I teach others how to build a thriving coaching business of their own. Whether you're just starting out or you've been coaching for years, I'm here to help you make a bigger impact while doing what you love. This is the Financial Coach Academy podcast. Let's dive in. Hey coach, you became a financial coach because you love helping people with their money. It's what you're naturally good at. But building a successful, profitable coaching business, that's where things get tricky when you don't have a clear path forward. That's why I created the 90-minute roadmap. It's your roadmap to success, filled with practical strategies you can use right away in your coaching business. Stop struggling through trial and error. Get your roadmap at financialcoachacademy.com/workshop today and start building the coaching business you've always wanted. I'm going to start this episode with a review from Sabrina. Sabrina says, the Financial Coach Academy podcast helped me tremendously when I was deciding to become a financial coach and continues to help me a year into my financial coaching business. Kelsey's ideas are well thought out and tested through her own experience. I love her take on social media, and I loved hearing about other financial coaches who found success multiple ways. Keep up the great work, Kelsey. I plan to, Sabrina. Thank you so much for the review and for being a listener. All right, let's kick off today's episode. Today, we're diving into something that happens to many financial coaches. Clients calling us therapists, and the important distinction between coaching and counseling. If you've been a financial coach for any length of time, you've probably had this experience. Someone introduces you as their financial therapist or thanks you for their financial therapy at the end of their session with you. While it might seem like a small mix-up or even a cute way to describe their mindset during a session, understanding and communicating the difference is crucial for both our professional boundaries and our clients' expectations. We're going to explore what coaching actually is, how it differs from counseling, and how to gracefully handle these situations when they arise. By the end of this episode, you'll have clear language to explain your role as a coach and feel confident navigating these conversations with potential clients. So let's start by getting clear on what coaching actually is, especially financial coaching, since that's our focus on this podcast. As financial coaches, we're primarily focused on the present and future, not the past. We help clients identify where they are today with their finances and then support them in finding strategies and tools to move toward their goals. A key distinction is that we don't tell our clients what to do. We're not financial advisors who make specific investment recommendations. Instead, we act as a sounding board to help clients discover what they want to do with their financial lives. Coaching is developmental in nature. We help clients identify their strengths and build skills that allow them to close the gap between their potential and their current reality. We often challenge our clients, gently, I might add, by asking tough questions about their spending habits, their beliefs about money, or the systems they've created. These challenges are meant to increase performance and self-awareness. The basic presumption of coaching is that our clients are in a good and willing place mentally and emotionally, ready to receive guidance and instruction on how to make changes that will help them achieve their goals. This is what makes coaching so powerful. We focus on creating and maintaining motivation for change, exploring obstacles, and creating practical plans for financial growth and stability. Now, let's turn to counseling, which has a fundamentally different approach and purpose than coaching. Counseling and therapy tend to be more focused on the past and is reparative in nature. Counselors help clients understand, resolve, and heal emotional trauma and pain from past experiences. While coaches focus primarily on action and goal achievement, counselors address deeper emotional, psychological, and behavioral issues, offering support for healing and long-term well-being. Counselors create a safe and supportive space for clients to explore who they are and cope with what they're facing in life. They help identify problems and act as a support system to help clients gain strength and clarity. Counseling deals with cognitive and emotional blockages that may be impeding someone from functionally and healthily dealing with life, work, and relationships. The issues that counseling most often addresses include things like depression, anxiety, addictions, trauma, bereavement, abuse, and relationship conflicts. One way to think about it is that counseling focuses on visiting the subconscious and bringing it to this conscious level, allowing for emotional or cognitive shifts to occur. As Elizabeth Franzoso puts it, Quote, the goal of counseling and psychotherapy is to heal some of the pain experienced in childhood and adulthood and support us to build self-esteem and self-confidence, unquote. Of course, if coaching and counseling were two separate circles on a Venn diagram, there would absolutely be some overlap. I like to ask my clients about past attempts or experiences with money too, and creating a safe space for clients to explore their growth. Of course, that is essential for our profession as well. One step I would love to encourage you to take is to ask 5 people what comes to mind when they hear the word counselor and what comes to mind when they hear coach. Part of this is how you and I, professionals in the financial services industry, understand these titles, but arguably just as important is how our clients or those not in the industry understand these titles as well. Now that we've defined both coaching and counseling, let's explore some of the key differences that matter for us as financial coaches. First and foremost is the focus on timeline. Coaching is primarily concerned with the present and future, while counseling often involves exploring the past to understand current patterns and behaviors. If you want to score these on a spectrum where you asked how much of the focus was on the past or the future, coaching would be more on the future end of that line and counseling on the past end of that line. It's important, coach, to not see this as a binary option. Counselors can still address the here and now, just like coaches can still discuss the past. But where is the primary focus on that spectrum? They're different. Second is the approach to goals. Coaching is highly action-oriented, goal-focused, and outcome-determinative. We help clients create systems, build habits, and take concrete steps toward their financial objectives. That process shifts the way clients think and see themselves. Counseling, while it may include goals, of course, is more focused on healing and emotional well-being. Third is the level of self-disclosure. In coaching relationships, there's often a higher level of self-disclosure than in counseling. As coaches, we might share our own experiences with money or financial challenges as a way to build connection and provide examples. Coaching is collaborative and it focuses on a partnership where both the coach and the client actively work together to achieve the client's goals. In contrast, counseling may involve a more directive approach where the therapist provides expertise and guidance, and the client may be more passive in the process. While counseling can also be collaborative, of course, the focus is often on exploring the root causes of issues and working through emotional challenges. Fourth is the boundary structure. Coaching relationships can often have more overlap with other parts of life. For example, it's not unusual for a financial coach to meet a client for coffee or attend the same networking events. Counseling, by contrast, maintains stricter boundaries and prohibits dual relationships. Fifth is the qualification structure. Licensed counselors typically need a master's degree in psychology or related field, along with extensive clinical experience and accreditation. Coaches may have specialized training and certifications, but the education backgrounds and credentials are more variable. Finally, there's a difference in how we approach referrals. As ethical coaches, we should be trained to recognize when a client's needs go beyond our scope of practice and refer them to therapists or other mental health professionals when appropriate. So, why then do clients sometimes call us therapists? Well, there are a few reasons this happens. First, coaching and counseling do share some similarities. Both involve supportive, one-to-one relationships focused on growth and improvement. Both require active listening, empathy, and skilled questioning. Second, money is deeply emotional. When we help clients work through their financial challenges, we often also help them process feelings like shame, fear, anxiety, or guilt. This emotional component can make it feel therapeutic, even though we're not providing therapy. Third, the term coach is used in many different contexts: sports coaches, life coaches, health coaches. So some clients may not have a clear understanding of what financial coaching specifically entails. We've seen coaches who feel uncomfortable when clients call them therapists because they worry about overstepping professional boundaries. This is a valid concern. We want to be clear about our role and not misrepresent our qualifications. On the flip side, some coaches feel flattered when clients see them as therapeutic, taking it as a sign that they're providing meaningful emotional support. While this may be true, it's still important to maintain clear distinctions. The key is finding a balanced approach. acknowledging the emotional aspects of money while staying firmly within our role as financial coaches. So, how do you respond when a client calls us their financial therapist or seems to confuse our role with that of a counselor? Well, your response mostly depends on your feelings about the terminology. I think it's important to create some dialogue around it, which is why we're having an episode about it. First, use it as a teaching moment. You might say something like, I appreciate that our work feels supportive, though as a coach, my focus is on helping you build financial skills and reach your goals rather than providing therapy. Let me explain a little bit about what coaching is. Then you can go as deep as you feel is necessary, coach, or stay more surface level on this, whichever you prefer. Second, be clear about your boundaries and scope of practice. Make it explicit what you can and cannot help with and what types of situations would warrant a referral to a mental health professional. Third, acknowledge the emotional component of money without stepping into a therapeutic role. You might say, money brings up a lot of emotions, and while we'll talk about those feelings as they relate to your financial habits, my role is to help you develop strategies and skills, not to provide mental health support. You'll want to include this distinction in your marketing and onboarding materials by having a clear explanation of what coaching is and isn't in your welcome packet or service agreement. Those can help set appropriate expectations right from the start. Finally, consider developing relationships with therapists or counselors in your area who understand financial issues. This creates a referral network for clients who might benefit from both coaching and counseling. We've seen coaches who've developed strong, collaborative relationships with financial therapists who are professionals who have training in both finance and mental health. These partnerships can provide comprehensive support for clients with more complex needs. Now let's discuss when referrals are necessary, because an essential part of being an ethical coach is recognizing when a client's needs go beyond our scope of practice. As Elizabeta Franzoso notes, most life coaches are not trained to face the deep-rooted obstacles in the way of their clients' goals unless they have a background in traditional counseling. I believe this goes for financial coaches too. There are certain situations where we should consider referring clients to mental health professionals. For example, if a client shows signs of clinical depression, anxiety, or other mental health conditions that are interfering with their ability to take action on their financial goals. If a client has active addiction issues that are driving financial problems. If a client has experienced severe financial trauma and is struggling with symptoms of PTSD related to money. And if a client's financial issues are primarily driven by relationship dynamics that require couples therapy or more intensive intervention. Remember, making a referral isn't a failure. It's a sign of professional integrity and genuine care for your client's well-being. It ensures they get the specific type of help they need. Most clients will appreciate your honesty and the fact that you're prioritizing their needs over trying to be everything to everyone. Let's wrap up with some practical action steps you can take to clarify your role as a financial coach. First, develop a clear, concise explanation of what financial coaching is and how it differs from counseling or therapy. Practice this explanation until it feels natural and confident for you. Review your marketing materials, website, and social media to ensure you're not inadvertently using language that might confuse potential clients about your role. Third, create a document outlining your scope of practice, what you can help with, what you can't help with, and when you would make a referral. Include this in your client onboarding process. Next, build relationships with mental health professionals in your area who understand financial issues. This creates a strong referral network for when clients do need additional support. Finally, continue your professional development in understanding the emotional aspects of money. While we're not therapists, being well-versed in how emotions impact financial behavior makes us more effective coaches. Remember, being clear about the distinction between coaching and counseling doesn't diminish the value of what we do. Financial coaching changes lives by empowering people to transform their relationship with money and build the skills they need for lasting financial well-being. Next week, we're going to look at the sticky dynamic of coaching your friends and family through their financial challenges. It's how I got started, but I believe there's a limit to what you can do with loved ones. I'll share with you what this could look like just for you. See you next week, Coach. That's all for today. If you're ready to grow your own financial coaching business, head over to financialcoachacademy.com for helpful resources and tools. If this episode helped you, hit subscribe and leave us a review. I'll see you next week.